a little bit early morning so that we can do a little bit of pre-game talk for Bungie's big announcement. We're basically an hour off from their latest announcement, which we will watch live here. But currently, we have some guys here talking about Google Stadia.
And then
So
at some
let's
point
tune
they
in.
just reached out to me and they said, well, you're the guy that wanted to make Baldur's Gate 3. Do you still want to make Baldur's Gate 3? And say, yeah, of course I still want to make Baldur's Gate 3. And that got the conversation rolling. And before you knew it, we were constructing story. It was awesome. It was a geek dream come true. Baldur's Gate 3 is the biggest game that we've ever done.
So we're talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
Production values are very, very, very high. But the game deserves it. I mean, it's people have been.
We'll hear a little bit
for a
about
very long time, so
Google
it deserves
Stadia.
to be
See what's
top-notch
going
in every
on
single
here.
aspect. And it's shaping up to be a beautiful game. But the coolest thing about it all is that by bringing it to Stadia, pretty much everybody is going to be able to play it at the highest quality settings because Stadia is democratic in that sense, if you want. It doesn't differentiate between what platform you're playing it on because everything is server-based.
We can't wait for you to play Baldur's Gate 3 on Stadia. And whether you're playing an RPG like Baldur's Gate 3 or any of the other titles and genres we'll share today, we know that players demand the most responsive experiences from their games. And we have architected Stadia to give you the fastest possible response between what your fingers are doing and what your eyes are seeing. So, what does that mean for the internet connection you're on right now? Let's quickly dig into the numbers. Our highest quality gaming experience is remarkable, with 4K HDR video at 60 frames per second and 5.1 surround sound.
Alright,
We're able
I'm
to
not
deliver
sure
this
how.
experience to users with a connection speed of around 35 megabits per second. And with
Okay.
Google handling the processing load, you can enjoy smooth gameplay even if you don't have that kind of connection. So let's say you have a connection speed of just 10 megabits per second. You can still get at least 720p
I mean,
video
I
at
have
60
like
frames per second with stereo
like
sound.
100
We're really
and
proud of the
something.
experience we're able to deliver, and it's all thanks to more than 20 years of work at Google.
I should be
Building
fine.
and optimizing our networks and data centers to support services with billions of users like YouTube, Gmail, Android, Google Play, Maps, and of course Google Search. The latency and speed demands of online gaming aren't far off from the demands we've been meeting for years. We handle the back end so you can play the games you want, when you want, on whatever screen you prefer. Back in October of 2018, we put this idea to the test with Project Stream. We invited users to stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey at up to 1080p and 60 frames per second. It was a phenomenal gaming experience on a wide range of PCs and laptops that were simply running a Chrome browser. With Project Stream, we demonstrated that we can transmit the live instance from the data center to your screen faster than your eye is transmitting those images to your brain. That's critical for fast-paced games on Stadia, like Mortal Kombat. It's truly a new paradigm for gaming. And since we
Mortal
announced
Kombat,
Stadia a
good
few months
example.
ago, we've gotten a lot of interest about this new way to play. In our conversations and meetups with game developers, they're excited about the possibilities of an ever-evolving play experience. And we can't wait to get Stadia in the hands of gamers later this year. So let's share some more details about the platform and what you'll need to get started at launch. You'll get the best experience playing with our new Stadia controller. It's designed specifically for streaming games, and it includes a capture button for your game footage and a button to access the Google Assistant. Of course, you can also play Stadia games with
Mel.
any supported
What's
game
up,
controller
Mel?
or with a mouse and keyboard. The only other thing you need is a screen to play on.
How are
Want
you
to play on
today?
the HD TV in your living room? Just plug in a Chromecast Ultra. If you'd rather play on your laptop, desktop, or tablet, open a Chrome browser window. Our vision is for Stadia to run on any screen that runs Chrome, or you can use the Stadia app on your Pixel 3. We'll be expanding to more screens down the line too,
Okay.
including more smartphones. When you're ready to play, the Stadia controller connects directly to your game running in the Google Data Center. That direct connection is key to providing the highest possible performance and the best streaming experience.
So this is about
We have
Google
so many more
Stadia,
details on the
which
Stadia
is going to
controller,
be
which you can find
essentially
on
streaming
stadia.com.
games
We're also a
over the
partner of
internet
Google Stadia,
rather
which
than
sponsor all
playing
your
them
watch
direct
parties.
from your
We're very
hardware.
excited to introduce you to a number of new titles
And
coming
it's
to
just a
Stadia at
controller.
launch. Let's take a
You
look.
buy a controller, you pay a membership, you get all the games, I guess.
Raised to be the alpha.
Oh, Ghost Recon, okay.
Alas, the beast can't be tamed that easily.
And they're saying you only need a 35 megabit per second connection to
This wild
be able to
territory is
stream your
supposed to be
games at
mankind.
1080p,
Free world
60
where I
frames
can
per
roam and
second.
explore with no end.
This is crazy.
But I came here on the hunt. Hidden among sheep, focused on their superficial dreams, moving up the food chain step by step before I dominate them all. One target always clearly in my sights. To secure the future with technology others developed, but were too fearful to deploy. By tooth and claw, I took this island, and by tooth and claw, I will rule it. The wolf knows when a predator nears. Can a ghost take on the lone wolf? Maybe. Tracking, analyzing, stalking, patiently, tirelessly. But there is no place for the weak and the wounded here. We are wolves. Stand by.
Okay, they're gonna show us some gameplay, huh?
Standing by. In position.
3, 2, 1.
Play with your buddies. I don't know, everybody's gotta meet that threshold. I feel like 35 Mbps isn't unreasonable nowadays. But I don't know. Cool. Morley, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Huh? What the? What? This is a top-down healing shit? Oh, they're packing. Okay. Oh my god. El Taco Jesse. How's it going, dude? This is madness. What? Got in from work. So this is all connected to the Google Stadia stuff they're showing. So they're gonna have Ghost Recon Wildlands, you know. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Oh, The Division. Okay. You can't have any lag with shit like this. The internet cannot falter. The connection to the Stadia has to remain strong.
Not only across the nation, but also across the world.
This is...
You, as an agent of the Strategic Homeland Division,
I don't know. This is lofty goals here.
to help take the city back and save the country. So one of the major challenges is to take an RPG and to create a fast-paced, action-packed shooting game. We learned a lot from the first game, and we improved on that. And what we have today, I think, is the best cover-based shooter RPG out there. One of the real benefits of choosing Washington, D.C. for the second game is that we have all of these amazing, iconic buildings. The White House, the Capitol, we have the Air and Space Museum, we have the Lincoln Memorial, and of course, there's even a control point at the base of the Washington Monument.
Stadia means that you can play your game anywhere.
Division 2 was a letdown for me.
The collaboration with
Got bored of the game after 2.
really awesome because they're
I
very
haven't
open,
finished
very
it.
open
The hardest
with
part is
us as partners.
when you get behind your buddy.
They know
You just can't.
infrastructure.
It's not fun to
Together
play
we
together.
bring a powerful, visually appealing experience to all Stadia users.
And then the other thing
Together we
is
can make the best of it.
everyone's spread out on
The
so many
exciting
different
part of
platforms.
Partnering with Google is that
You don't
have the
really...
bandwidth and just the physical infrastructure to pull something like
That's
this
the
off.
weakness of looter shooters right
Bringing the
now.
Division 2 to Stadia
Everything
is
needs to
a
go
really
cross-platform.
experience and an immensely thrilling journey. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do in the future.
I think that's going to be the big battle at E3. Imagine playing The Division 2 anywhere, though.
Titles we're bringing to you at launch. And now, here to tell you about Stadia's pricing and availability is my friend and
Oh,
Launching Stadia with a diverse mix of games from
I didn't realize I could get my taskbar to go away.
There's truly something for everyone. With Stadia, you can put your money toward the things that really matter.
Wow, dude.
The latest,
Glasses
greatest
are really
gaming
making a
experiences
statement.
that you can play anywhere. To unlock these experiences, we're offering a premium subscription for our Stadia players. Introducing Stadia Pro. It delivers the best of Stadia for just $9.99 per month. Stadia Pro gives you regular content that we add to your library for being a Stadia Pro member at our highest streaming quality. 4K, HDR, 60 frames per second with 5.1 surround sound. And we're going a step further to celebrate players who want to be the first playing on Stadia. We know there's a passionate world of players out there who want bigger, better, more accessible gaming experiences.
LJ, I want his glasses.
We've heard from so
The new
many
COD is
gamers who
cross-platform.
share our
Yeah,
excitement. For those
that
fans,
will be
we've
good.
created a custom,
I'm
limited
very
edition
excited about
exclusive
the new
features
COD.
and content. We call it the Stadia Founders Edition, and you can pre-order it starting today. The Founders Edition
For just
everything you need
$700. I mean, what?
and you'll have the first access to Stadia when it launches later this year. We want to make sure your games look great on the biggest screen in your home, so the Founders Edition comes with a Chromecast Ultra for streaming it up to 4K HDR at 60 frames per second directly to your TV. You'll also receive a limited edition Night Blue Stadia controller, as well as 3 months of Stadia Pro.
It's black.
We know gaming is more fun with a friend. The Founders Edition comes with a 3-month buddy pass, so you can gift Stadia Pro access to a friend or family member. You can also pick
Just
up
gotta
a
man up
Stadia
and do
controller
it.
for $69.
They just gotta do it.
It comes in clearly
I've played with a controller on PC for 2 years now. I can kick anyone's ass. I can also get my ass
You'll be
kicked
among
as
the
well,
first
but
players to secure your exclusive Stadia name. So you'll get the Stadia name you want and the bragging rights
I don't
that go
know.
along with it. So you're getting a Chromecast Ultra, the limited edition Night Blue Stadia controller, 3 months of Stadia Pro.
I
for you
don't
and a
know.
friend, and you'll be among the first players to select a Stadia name. It's all in the Stadia Founders Edition, and it's coming to these 14 countries.
I'm more thinking about the cooperative
And we're
games that
working
you
hard
could
to
have.
expand Stadia to
Destiny,
additional
Division,
countries in 2020
things
and
like that
beyond.
go
We do have
cross-platform.
one more surprise.
That'd be cool.
Gamers who buy the Stadia Founders Edition will get
Pulverizer,
the
what's up, dude?
Destiny 2 experience as part of Stadia Pro. Let's take a look.
Here we go.
Destiny's about
No
being super
fucking
powerful,
way.
set loose in a really
It's
beautiful
real.
world.
The first time I fired my super, I was like screaming, I'm so badass right now. I've been playing games for 30 years and I've never experienced that.
Destiny is about playing with your friends.
My best moments are with other players. The first time I beat Vault of Glass, I know who was there with me, and that just makes
Vault of Glass.
Bungie's always been at the forefront of exploring new ways to bring our games to our players.
We are now our own publisher. Did you know this?
Bills.
And with Stadia, we get to be the tip of the spear with something that's new.
Our push now is to remove all the barriers that we have to playing Destiny.
No fucking way.
Wherever.
The rumors are true.
And we're allowing players to have access to all of it. All of our planets, all of our cooperative strikes, all of our competitive modes, Gambit, raids. It's all there for players to jump in and have fun with.
Shadowkeep is the next chapter in the Destiny story.
It's a pretty haunting tale. There are these nightmares that are walking the moon, and you'll have to find a way to conquer these nightmares and face your fears.
We have a lot to do with that.
Yes.
We're not done yet.
We now are in control of our own destiny. Behind us.
Oh my god, that's super
we have an
ironic.
incredible community. And with Stadia, I think we're going to open up an entirely new opportunity for players to come in and play with their friends from around the world.
I think it's going free to play. Oh shit, they're doing the reveal? Oh, so we don't... what? Bungie's gonna be doing something totally different then.
Always brings us back to the past.
No fucking way.
Can you feel them?
What's
You can
up?
still hear their voices.
I missed you, girl.
Their endless torment reshapes our moon. Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our old fears, they rise again. And in the dark below, something wicked has awakened.
Oh shit.
We must bring an end to this suffering. One way or another.
Ugh. Okay. Bungie's going all in.
At Bungie for partnering with us to bring the full Destiny 2 experience to Stadia. The base game, all previous add-ons, the newest expansion, and the annual pass. They're all included in your Stadia Pro subscription. And as an added bonus, you'll be able to transfer your Destiny Guardian to Stadia from any other platforms. To recap, the Stadia Founders
You see the white print?
Limited edition Night Blue controller, Chromecast Ultra, 3 months of Stadia Pro, the full Destiny 2 experience. First
Sony doesn't want to play ball.
To give Stadia Pro to a friend
Pending Sony approval.
who you're going to give it to.
They don't want to play ball. They don't want crossplay. Not in their best interest. When they're selling the most consoles.
Which you can pre-order now. We're
Okay, 129's not crazy.
around the world, but it's only available for a limited time in limited quantities. So don't wait too long to pre-order. If you don't want the Founders Edition or Stadia Pro, you can still buy and play Stadia games without a subscription. Simply buy the games you want when you want them. We call this Stadia Base, and any games you purchase, they're yours to play whenever you want. So whether you're ready
I
to
like
go
that.
all in with the Founders Edition bundle, or if you prefer Stadia Base, you have options. All right, let's bring Phil back for a few final details and surprises.
Thanks for tuning in to this first look at some of our most exciting launch titles.
Nothing's gonna
Pricing
top
details and
Destiny.
how to access
Sorry.
Stadia right at launch. You can get more details and info at stadia.com/FAQ, or you can find it in the description here. or tweet us at Google Stadia. We'll have
Huh.
much more to come soon, including additional announcements from some of the world's best.
Oh,
game
everybody.
publishers.
All the boys are on board.
Experience Stadia for yourself. And with that, we're excited to show you one last collection of games.
Listen up already.
Mortal Kombat, Tomb Raider, Rage. No box. Final Fantasy, the new Darksiders, whatever soccer is, farming simulator stuff. The Crew 2.
You guys are weird.
Hmm. Stadia arrives this November. And they're really going hard with the Destiny. It's the first game they show. Trying to switch these two tabs out. Windows. Jeez. Alright, so we got about 30 minutes here. Yeah, everywhere is the idea. Anywhere you can bring up Google Chrome. So either Chromecast plugged into the back of your TV, on your phone, on your tablet. You open up a Chrome web browser on your computer. You're playing Destiny. That could be alluring. If I'm able to take my character wherever I want, I could be in the kitchen eating dinner, pull up Destiny on my phone, and still be on the strike and don't be kicked out for inactivity. You know? The playtime with the boys. They're saying you need a 35 Mbps connection, which I feel like is pretty reasonable. 35 Mbps is probably available most places by now. It may not be cheap. I got over 100, so I am set. This should run no problem for me. But that's what I worry about. Is like, how many of my friends have over 35 Mbps, you know? Like, what if the game's not running smooth like this for them, you know? You run about 165. Orley! Yeah, if you have good internet. So you can pay $10 a month. You can do that. But I guess you still have to buy the games, but there are some things that come with it. I am impressed. I'll say that. I don't think Bungie would be on board with these guys. Much less like, you know, Ubisoft if there was any sort of lag or performance issues. If they didn't think that their games... They're not going to let their games run on a platform where their games won't work, you know? Right? Or where if you're in Crucible and people are lagging all over the place, they're not going to let that happen. So the infrastructure has got to be there. Didn't think it was possible. I think Destiny's the biggest thing on the Stadia. That is a good idea. That's a selling point, if I've ever heard one. So we're still waiting on Bungie. They're going to be live on Mixer today, and that's at 10 a.m. Pacific. But yeah, it does me no good if PlayStation's not on board. Yeah, very true. So me and Taco, we play together on PlayStation. Marcus on Xbox. Myself, I'm on everything, but mostly PC, PS4 lately, as far as Destiny goes. And as far as Division 2 goes as well. So, we got Uriah on PS4. You got Zen on PC. You got Real Space. You got Glenn. You know, you got Mel over here on PC. I mean, and if they and here's the other thing. So we had another thing leaked today. Let me pull it up. Okay, maybe I didn't did I not post that somewhere? I thought I did. Okay, let me have a look here. Pretty sure I liked it or tweeted it or something. Oh, come on. Where do you find your stuff? Ba-na-na-na. Da-da-da-da-da. Where is it? Oh, okay. So this was an article that was... Okay. Well, let me maximize it. It was posted on Engadget today. Big changes coming to Destiny 2. This is all rumor, by the way. Developer Bungie has a new way to deliver content. When the major expansion lands on September 17th, the core game will go free to play, shifting to expansion-level standalone content for Destiny veterans. Details of the plot are scarce. Thanks to early stuff, we know it's going to be on the moon, journey deep into an enemy citadel, become a slayer of nightmares. So basically, they're just going to have all the year one content, all the main modes and stuff. Everything will be free, but you will just pay for expansions. So things like Shadowkeep, you'll have to buy. Why did Sony agree to cross-platform with Fortnite? They were forced into it. To be fair, they had to do it because any other way made them look like assholes, right? But they didn't cross all the way. They didn't want to cross with Xbox, and they made up little stupid excuses. You know, they said things like, "Oh, well, we're not sure if Xbox's community is appropriate. What if they're rude to our players? What if they're mean to the kids that play PlayStation?" Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Xbox. There's kids everywhere on every platform. I'm going to have to reheat this coffee. It's already gotten cold. So yeah, they did kind of a half-ass crossplay. And I think with Destiny, they're reluctant because they get exclusive content like the weapons, the strikes, the multiplayer maps. They all come to PS4 first. And they get exclusivity for just about a year. Just about a year. I'm going to heat up this coffee. More kids play Switch than anything? I don't know. They just don't, yeah, they don't have a good leg to stand on. When it's all money and you're at the top selling the most consoles. PS4 is selling the most consoles at the moment. You know, they got lots of really good story-based games that they're coming out with. Yeah, and allegedly COD is going to be the first game that's fully cross-platform all the way through. Although I doubt you'll be playing COD on your mobile phones. So yeah, that's true. They don't really have anything to stand on other than they paid big money to Bungie for their exclusivity, right? And they don't want to let that go. They like that deal. You know, they paid big money to COD so that they could have exclusive content a month ahead of time. You know, the latest zombie maps, exclusive DLC, everything coming to PlayStation first. But I think gamers are kind of coming around to more, I want to play with my friends no matter where they are. I don't care about exclusivity. I care about my friends. I want to play where they're playing. And if you don't offer me, if you want the isolation experience, I'm out. And especially with Google Stadia, that's going to be a big threat, right? That's a big threat to PlayStation's quote-unquote, you know, monopolizing the exclusivity and the, you know, trying to be the only place game, and that's just simply not true. Very interesting. Uzu, how's it going, buddy? All right, let me check on my coffee here. Heating it up. But yeah, we got lots of big announcements today, and we're about 20 minutes away from Bungie's. Yeah, Bungie is going to be talking about the next chapter of Destiny today. That's why we went with that title for the stream. And I just happened to catch, you know, Stadia going live just as I went live. So we checked that out, talked about a little bit about that. And what Zen noticed, Bungie commented back at someone saying, hey, we know about Shadowkeep. You know, we got these crossplay rumors coming, you know. We already know everything that you're going to drop on us today. And then Bungie replied to that comment by saying, you know nothing. So, and given that they've already kind of soft announced on Google Stadia the new expansion, I feel like they got something else big to talk about. And it might be Destiny 3, which I'm not a fan of the idea. I want everything Destiny under one game with all the stuff neatly. There you go. I don't want to buy new games where I lose all the old content and move on to the next thing. I don't like that. Not one bit. Destiny 2 shouldn't have been a thing. They should have just added more content to part 1. You know, they could come out with a re-release where they up the graphics and everything. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But making a separate entry in the series where they leave stuff behind, you know? It's crazy. Bungie kind of likes to do their own thing, though, you know? And Google Stadia, I don't... As far as I know, unless they're going to have demo units at E3, I mean, they can announce whenever they want. Bungie kind of does their own thing as well. Yeah, should have just kept updating D1, honestly. It would have been really cool for just the game to be called Destiny, and then you just have expansions like World of Warcraft. You know, you just get more stuff, and you keep playing. They update the game. They make the graphics better over time, you know. You know, if they want to overhaul something, you know, they can, you know, they can give us a new disc or a massive update or something that ups the resolution or something, you know, whatever it is, you know, because if I'm seeing Destiny as a long-term franchise and investment. It's probably going to be here a long time. Unless they really fuck it up, you know. But it looks like with them being, you know, owning their own rights and stuff, should be good. They should be okay. Still don't own it. Well, I mean, if they do announce that it's going to be free, it'd be cool. If it does end up going free to play. Mel! The 500 bits. We are back. Some foods. That is sick. Dig it. So yeah, we're looking at that next. Yeah, could go free to play. Okay, they're getting ready. Oh, we can watch it on Twitch. Okay. Because I was seeing something about it being on Mixer, and I was like, oh, it's exclusive to that. Alright, well, we're gonna watch it on Twitch then. So I'm gonna keep that queued up right there. We'll watch it on Twitch and we'll react accordingly. I love those. Oh wow. So there's a lot more than I saw previously. Okay. I love it. I love all these emotes that they've come out with, and that's a really cool way to do that. There are 20 Pride emotes. I had only seen like 4 or 5 of them. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. And that's really cool that we're raising money. That through all our bit donations. That's hip. Yeah, I like all that stuff. Nice. I like that. Yeah, and they got all the flags too. And I guess after all the announcements are done, we'll play some Destiny a little bit. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes or so now. So we shall see, Guardians. See, I guess we could try something here. Ba-da-bum, bum, bum, bum.
Looking to the future always brings us back to the past.
Eris Morn.
Feel them. I can still hear their voices. Their endless torment reshapes our moon. Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our old fears, they rise again. And in the dark below, something wicked has awakened. We must bring an end to this suffering. One way or another.
Interesting. Could be good. Good stuff. So yeah, I'll link some of this stuff in the Discord. The Stadia Founders Edition. Link to the Bungie theme. I could link that trailer as well. Cool. Got all that. That looks cool. I'm excited to go to the moon. The moon was really cool. That was where the darker D1 content was, right? Lots of dark stuff. As Point Break? I feel like everything's gonna hit all at once. Yes, Queen or Breakpoint. Breakpoint? Ghost Recon? Yeah. Yeah, Ghost Recon. I think Ghost Recon has more longevity for me. Okay, I'm not gonna have chat pulled up. We're just gonna I'm not gonna have Bungie's chat pulled up because who knows what they're gonna say. Probably nothing good. But we'll sit here and we'll wait. Wait on Bungie. Yeah, makes you want to play Crota's End, right? I was thinking about the darkness at the beginning of the raid. You got run past all those lanterns and you got Thrall chasing you. That was so cool. Destiny had such really dark and scary moments in the first game. The second game was all like Marvel's Avengers, with little fart jokes every couple of minutes, It got all kind of lighthearted and stuff. Which, each their own. But I'm hoping with this chapter some of that darkness will come back, a little bit of that fear. A little bit of that dark and gritty Destiny 1 flavor. That could be cool. Yeah. That could be nice. Could be nice. Uh-oh. Nine, 7, 14. Vault to glass. 9, 16, 14. Okay. That's our first raid, right? I can't believe that was like 3 days before my birthday. The Dark Below. 12, 9, 14. Already have Ghost Recon pre-ordered, right? That's a good one. That's a must-have this season, I think. Rhoda's End. 12, 9, 14. So that's our second raid there. Prison of Eldad. 4, 12, 15. It's been a while. We've been playing this game for a while. Wow. House of Wolves, 5, 19, 15. The Future of Destiny. So I think, I could be wrong, but I think they're going to lay out, when they're speaking in the next chapter, the Taken King 9, 15, 15, 4 days before my birthday, this comes out. That was hip. But I think they're going to talk a little more about that. They're going to talk a little more than just Shadowkeep. King's Fall raid lands the day before my birthday, 9, 18, 15. Oh yeah, Destiny's been around a while. Honestly, I didn't stream much of Destiny 1 because everybody else was doing it. Rise of Iron, 9/20/16, day after my birthday. Ah! Crazy. It was crazy how all this content was always landing in or around my birthday. Wrath of the Machine, the final D1 raid, 9/23/16. But I don't age. Cheers to you. I level up. The Red Wall, 9/6/17. That's Destiny 2 right there. The Leviathan, 9/13/17. Notice how everything's launching around my birthday. Still haven't played it. Let's see. Curse of Osiris, December 5th, which was only a month in. So for the PC players, they were a little chapped. The Curse of Osiris lands just as they were getting to play the vanilla campaign. Eater of Worlds. Got our raid layer there. I haven't played any. I've played bits and pieces, but I haven't played any D2 raids. I gotta find that raid crew, man. These guys, gotta find those hip people that they're like-minded and behave, treat each other well. 5/8/18 is Warmine. I think Warmind was good. I actually really liked Warmind. Osiris I did not like as much. The only raid I finished, says Uzu. Nice! Dude, some of the gear from that raid looks epic. I really can't wait to do it. Escalation Protocol lands on May the 8th of 2018. We're looking at this time last year. We're playing EP. Sounds familiar. Fire of Stars comes out May 11th, 18. Another raid layer. Which I'm not exactly fond of all the raids being like in the same place. It was a cool thing about D1. Each raid was like somewhere drastically different with way different themes, you know? 7/17/18, Whisper of the Worm. I don't know anyone that plays D2 on PS. Me and Taco, man. And Joe. Yeah, that's the hard part. Is I know plenty of people that play Destiny, but we're not on the same times. We're not on the same platforms. Forsaken, Season of the Outlaw. That's more about Cade on September 4th. Gambit, September 4th. Yeah, they like September, don't they? Well, it's a good month to launch stuff because you usually get ahead of the curve, you know? Everybody else launches, you know, horror games land in October, and then November is when, you know, the big boys drop their stuff, you know? COD and Battlefield and all the other guys. Last Wish, September 14th. I've only gotten the chests on that one. I haven't played it. Shattered Throne on the 25th. That's hip. We're gonna do some Shattered Throne this week. Taco says we try to schedule at least one day for raids. It's always hard. It really is. Season of the Forge, 11/27/18. That's gonna be our Black Armory stuff dropping. So yeah, the whole seasonal thing is a cool new idea, I guess, to keep people on the game consistently. Scourge of the Past, December 7th. That's our raid on Earth revolving around the armory, yeah. Blast. When D2 was released, I used to play on PlayStation, got all the exotic before the DLCs, but now I play on PC, had to start from the beginning. This is the same way on Xbox for me. March 5th, 2019, Season of the Drifter. Yeah, so I had everything on Xbox. All the exotics, even some Trials guns, had some really cool stuff. And then, you know, started playing on PS4 and PC as well. Gambit Prime, March 5th. That's been hip. Gambit Prime's been pretty cool. I can't believe they don't have any music going. Oh, you know what? They probably do. But
Flavored lip gloss on the other hand.
oh, I'm lurking in Jill's stream. Ah! I'm sorry. I gotta mute you guys. Lurking in Jill. It's only Jill, ladies and gentlemen. We get a shout out for Jill. I mean, she basically got one, but you know. Season of Opulence, 6/4/2019. Promote Jill. 100%. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I was wondering why everything was silent. Like, why wouldn't they play music? Because you got it muted, dumbass. It's only Jill. Yeah, this is the Presley mug here. Available on the merch store. Oh! Happening. Here we go. What a bunch of nerds.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Luke.
And I'm Mark, and we're coming here live from the Bungie Studios. Yeah.
It is. If you've been on the internet the last few days,
yeah.
it is the leakiest ship on the internet.
It's true.
So what we've got today, we've got a cool show lined up for you. Behind us, you can see Dado getting ready, Dado, Ben, and Catherine. We're going to talk about Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, which is the next chapter coming out this fall. But first, let's take a look at it.
Looking to the future always brings us back to the past. Can you feel them?
Yeah, they're gonna play this again. They got some big stuff though. They gotta have something big. It's gotta be more than just this little trailer.
Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our old fears, they rise again. And in the dark below, something wicked.
Wicked.
We must bring an end to this suffering. One way or another.
So the question on everyone's mind since Bungie's gone truly independent and is in complete control of Destiny's future. We're publishing the game now. We're an independent company. Is now what? What's the plan? Where are we headed?
Yeah.
So the way that we talk about where we're headed is like the way we've talked about over the years is what's the vision for what we're trying to do. And so the vision for Destiny going forward, the Destiny franchise, is contained in like 3 parts. The first part is being an awesome action MMO. And
we've been worried about that term for a long time. We've shied away from using
MMO.
that. Yeah, because it comes with a lot of baggage. It's like, does that mean it's a subscription game, or you have got to play with a mouse and keyboard, or whatever? But like, man, this is one of those things. We're on our own now, and it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a duck. Like we can accept the fact that this is what the game is.
There's like duck emojis out in the chat right now. But like when we say MMO, we don't mean like subscriptions. We don't mean subscriptions. We do mean 2 things. The first part where we're lacking right now, and we've been getting better, Forsaken certainly adds to it, is improving the RPG.
Yeah, we really want deeper build customization for our players and for your characters. You're creating these monster killing machines and you want to make them your own, and we can do a lot more there.
And so a bunch of what we're doing this fall is going to be about adding the stats back into the game, RPGing the game more than it was. And D2 launched away, Forsaken improved it, and we think Shadowkeep's going to take that kind of to the next level. The second part about what we mean when we say RPG is really important to us. It's about improving social. Like this is a place where it can be hard to find grouping, it can be hard to make friends in Destiny, and what we've been saying for years as we've been like dodging the MMO term is like it's a game best played with your friends. And so this is one of the things that on the long horizon of the Destiny franchise, like we have to improve the social game.
Yeah, and I just want to take a moment to say this isn't changing anything about the core action game of Destiny. Like it is so fun and amazing to shoot monsters in their heads, get headshots, and see their souls escaping their body, and you slip behind cover. Like at its core, Destiny is an action game. But we're also not afraid to say it's an action MMO, and that's where we're headed. We're taking steps there this year.
So part 1 of the vision, awesome action MMO. Part 2 of the vision for Destiny going forward is a single evolving world. And we have been We have been close to the mark in some ways and far off in others. The way we've been close is stuff like what happened in Forsaken, when Raid Team goes into the Dreaming City, they kill Riven, and they launch this Dreaming City cycle that like transforms the world. And we think that's awesome, and we want to do more things like that.
When the community gets to come together and discover secrets and solve problems and push the world forward and push that narrative forward, that's when the game really feels like it's not a game, but a real world.
Yeah, for people who don't know some of where I came from, in my time in WoW, the Scarab Lord Gates opening event was this moment that brought these huge communities together.
I've never heard of that.
It became this awesome event, and I think the potential of what we're trying to do with Destiny is create moments like that create bonds between players and let players work together to change the world. The third part of the vision here is play it anywhere.
Yeah, we want you to be able to play Destiny anytime, anywhere with your friends. And we're definitely going to take steps here this year. And the first one.
Well, I don't know which first you want to do. We're just coming off of the Stadia announcement, which is our partnership with Google.
Yeah. So with Stadia, Destiny 2 is coming to Stadia this year, which is going to be awesome because it means you're going to be able to play Destiny anywhere you have a Chrome browser with their controller, and that's going to be just incredible for our community. You're not going to have to lug your PS4 home to your mom's place at Christmas anymore. In case Zura's selling one-eyed mask or whatever. That's not a promise.
You know who's been talking about this all the time? It's like Scott Taylor, constantly talking about where he's going to play. Can't wait to play on my. It just lists a litany of devices that he wants to play. He wants to play Destiny on.
And that story's just cracked wide open with Stadia. So we're super excited about that because it lets you literally play anywhere.
So it's a great fit for the vision. And then the next thing, do you want to just jump? We have our set list that we're moving through. And so the next thing on the list. There's been a little bit of talk about it over the last 24 hours. Maybe you want to talk about cross-save.
So yeah, cross-save is coming to Destiny 2 finally, and we're super excited about that. What cross-save is, it is about taking Guardians that you've created and being able to play them on any platform. And we are super excited about that, and we know fans have been asking for a long time. And contrary to maybe what you've heard on the internet, because I just want to be super clear about this, cross-save is coming to all platforms, all of them, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Stadia. And
there's some
people clapping in the studio.
That is, we do not have an applause light. That's just the enthusiasm of the team.
So we're super excited about that. And Bungie and Sony are working together to ensure that cross-save is coming to PS4 when Shadowkeep launches.
For years, we would go to do interviews with companies. We'd dodge this question so many times about which platform do you play on? Which platform should you play on?
Wherever your friends are.
Our answer has always been we're gonna message back to the best place to play Destiny is where your friends are. But cross-save makes that statement actually true because you can go from PC to PS4 and wherever you want to play the game, wherever your group's rating is where you can play.
So you've probably seen reports on the internet, and that may be different to this. There's a reason we do these shows live. So.
It's for the really awkward.
Yeah.
It's for us stammering back and forth. So the next thing on our list here, do you want to talk? Let's talk about a new entry point.
When we think of anytime, anywhere, that third part of the vision, cross-save, Stadia, those are parts of it. But we have some real barriers to making that totally true and really making that a reality. When Forsaken came out last year, for instance, look in the first-party stores. There's 9 different versions of the game. You need some kind of decoder ring to figure out what you're supposed to purchase. It's just way too confusing to figure out what you're supposed to buy.
Uh-oh.
So the reason our answer to this big problem is, what if we just create a free entry point for the game and create a brand new way for players to, a brand new-ish way for players to enter the universe. But there's still this problem of, oh gosh, I've got 40 hours of game to play. I've got to get through these campaigns, which are cool, but that's not really the part of the game that matters if you're playing for hardcore reasons.
In the Season of Opulence, Menagerie just came out. It's a 6-player match-made activity. It's awesome. I love playing it. But if I'm going to recommend it to a friend who's not playing Destiny, it's you got to buy this version of the game, then you buy this other version of the game, then you got to play all that. And I'm not going to play with you because you're doing old stuff. And so it's going to take...
You're doing old stuff.
It's hard to recommend. So we need to fix that.
So the answer to this problem is New Light, where once you enter New Light in 10, 15, 20 minutes, you now arrive at the part of the game that matters to you and your friends, where you're like jumping into Gambit, Crucible, etc. This is about crushing the barriers between friends and making it a game where you're like, there's something awesome happening in Destiny. I'm going to go check it out. And New Light's totally free.
It's free. You download New Light, create this character. Within 15 minutes, you're playing Gambit with your bros or running around the EDZ and discovering lost sectors. Like, you're having a really fun time.
So the other part of this handshake is the way we're thinking about selling the game differently now. We have, for years, had this like compounding purchase model, even something like the annual pass, which I think we've learned a bunch from, and we have plans for how we're going to iterate on it over time. It meant that up front you had to spend $35 rather than maybe purchasing things a la carte, and that strategy is a strategy that we're changing now that we're in control.
Yeah, if you think
That's
of New
cool.
Light like a baseline, we're thinking of our content kind of like atomic packages that go on top of that. So Destiny 2 Shadowkeep is completely standalone. It's an expansion pack, and it's standalone. It's an expand-alone, I guess is what you would call it.
You don't need to play Forsaken. You don't need to play Curse of Osiris, Warmind. You don't have to have played Drifter, none of it.
You buy it, and you jump right in. But, we want to do that with seasons, too. And so going forward, our seasons, you're going to be able to jump in and have a great free experience, and that's awesome. But if you want that, access to some of the premium content, you can jump in and buy that season, Season 8 separately from Season 9.
Yep. So another part that we have had trouble with over the years is answering questions around things like exclusive content. We have had exclusive activities, exclusive weapons, things like this, and those things violate kind of that second part of the vision, which is that single evolving world. So going forward and beginning this fall.
Single community of players where everyone can be together, but you're like, well, let's play this strike. Oh, sorry, I don't have that strike on my box.
So we want to remove those barriers, and now going forward, there's going to be no more exclusive activity content, no exclusive gameplay things like exotic weapons. We're not doing any of that stuff going forward.
Yeah. So there's one more thing that I'm going to share before we're done is that this year,
Read between the lines, PlayStation.
Needs to find a new home.
Some would say we need to find an epic partner.
Yeah, and so we need to find a new home, and because we're self-publishing Destiny now, and we're truly on our own. And so Destiny 2 is going to be coming to Steam. And this means that anyone currently playing Destiny 2, they're going to be able to come over to Steam, free of charge. They're going to continue their accounts. They're going to continue all their possessions going to move over, any licenses they had, any DLC, like whatever. It all comes over. And Shadowkeep, the D2 expansion that's coming out this fall, is going to be shipping exclusively on Steam this year.
It's kind of like when you relocate for a job, and they relocate you, and like a van shows up at your house and loads all your stuff, and then
okay, well, it's not there right now.
It's all there, but this time we're gonna like unpack it and move you over to Steam.
How exactly this is all going to happen? There's going to be a website on BungieNet somewhere that describes it in more detail. But we want the transition to be really seamless for players and a really good experience.
So a thing that we want to try to do to wrap up
Destiny coming to Steam.
Instagram cut down version of everything we just talked about in like 20 seconds. So the vision for Destiny going forward is pretty simple. It's an awesome action MMO in a single evolving world that you can play anywhere. By playing anywhere, that means cross-save across all of our platforms. We have a new platform that we're adding this year, Stadia. We have a new entry point for the game called Destiny 2 New Light, which is free. And everything we add to the game is going to be purchased a la carte going forward. So Shadowkeep, Season 8. Let's say in Season 8 we start to lay the foundation for some changes we want to make to PvP, but it doesn't tempt you to come back yet. Well, maybe in Season 9 we'll have something that's going to make you want to come back for sure. No more exclusives going forward for us in terms of gameplay and armor and weapons, and if you're playing the game on PC, we're moving you to Steam. That's kind of like that's the end of the set list. The encore, if we're carrying the music thing forward, is this awesome?
I think it's more than an encore.
Sure, yeah, actually, we're the opening act.
Yeah, they've been watching two dudes talk to you for 12 minutes or whatever.
So, the main event is coming up. Dato's behind us getting ready. But first, let's take a look at a new Vidoc called Out of the Shadows.
What?
This really is the beginning of a new era.
Cosmodrome.
The beginning is an important part of that sentence.
Why is it freezing?
This is the first time I think that, in a long time that Bungie has stood kind of on its own.
And we're self-publishing. It's a really big deal. There's a huge opportunity here for us to really make our own decisions.
It's a turning point for us. We are in charge of our own destiny.
It's empowering and terrifying at the same time.
There are only two groups who are going to decide what happens to Destiny next: Bungie and the players who play Destiny. So at its core, Shadowkeep is about returning to the moon.
We haven't been in the moon in a while since Destiny 1, and a lot's changed.
Yes! Take me back! Let's do it!
When you go back, it isn't exactly what you thought it was.
There's like huge cracks ripped into it. There's a weird scarlet fortress. And so the context of the moon has been updated entirely.
Good.
This isn't just about the hive anymore. It's about something else, something terrifying.
Crota?
The moon this time around is something really scary. That is.
Hey, there's the old pipeline.
Before it was, oh, it's a big giant thing and it's scary. But now there's actual like some psychological elements to that.
How long has it sat in silence, watching us?
Much too long.
Having Eris Morn come back instantly signals to players the tone shift and change.
Yeah, that's the dark tone.
Tone of threatening and psychological horror.
You're all insufferable!
We want to tap into what makes Guardians afraid. What are their worst fears?
Shadowkeep refers to the things that Eris unleashed on the solar system. Nightmares are manifestations of a Guardian's past.
What if the villains that you thought were well into the ground actually weren't, and they were being resurrected by the darkness?
Eris is trying to figure out how she unleashed this kind of madness, and so she needs your help. You can't just kill them and make them go away.
What if you can't do all of the things that you've grown accustomed to doing?
Being unable to achieve what you're trying to achieve, no matter how hard you try.
Players, they think we can deal with this. We killed Crota, like we killed orcs. Like, no big deal, right? Well, you're gonna get there and you discover it's a bigger deal than you even thought it could be.
The darkness is actually a lot closer than you realized.
Yeah, it's not on the edge of the solar system, huh? Unfinished business.
It's been a year, basically, of just a constant two-way dialogue with all of our passionate players.
Under it or on the sides of it more?
The number of green. That's really informed what it is that players want out of the Destiny game and how we're evolving, not just the story of the world, but what happens to you as a Guardian.
Like the thing that's supposed to blow you back or whatever, it's related to acceleration.
A bunch of the work that we're doing is about adding depth to the character sheet. You know, the teams are thinking about how do we want to evolve armor, get more stats into the game, get more player customization. How can we get the depth of pursuit for how you want to play with this awesome character you've been building now for, you know, some of us 5 years.
And like completely new ways of deepening the like character RPG that we all know and love and want to be better.
In Shadowkeep, we are fundamentally evolving the systems and moving the world forward.
You want to bring some of that sci-fi element back to it, where it's
some like panels or something.
We've been dancing this line between, like, are we RPG enough? Are we not RPG enough? And now we're like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go all in and just say, like, hey, let's give players what they want.
What was that?
Allow them to kinda, like,
what was that punch?
Their
Where he
habits and
punched
their
that ogre.
modes and all that stuff as much as they want to.
So in Shadowkeep, what we're doing is changing the way that armor, perks, and mods work pretty significantly.
Right now, in the game, if you have an armor set that you like the look of, but you have another armor set that you like the way it plays,
Yes.
you're probably going to pick the one that you like the way it plays. Armor 2.0 is focused on allowing you to take the
dude,
mods that you've
finally.
unlocked and apply them to any given piece of armor.
When I move my cursor over one of these mod sockets, it immediately shows me all of the mods that are available to me.
Personally, I'm excited about the artifact. Players just get to kind of like fidget with these knobs and switches and do all the things that they want to do.
When you get to this last tier, each of these perks gets relatively close to what an exotic might feel like. That's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun.
Finishing moves are a new thing for Shadowkeep. What's your favorite?
I mean, there's some crazy ones for the
Finishers. That's what we saw.
It does like spin in front of him, has two knives, and then just hits. I was like, what the heck? Like, what game is this?
Yeah, Titan finisher. He jumps in the air, pulls back, looks at his fist, and
It's kind of like the dunk. There's so many different ways to dunk. You can behind the back, 360, cartwheel, whatever.
That looks cool. That's it. Fucking punch!
Playtest lab every day, trying to figure out what's good for the game, what do people want, what have they been asking for, trying new ideas.
So I want to try. I had a radar hiding.
Let me know how it feels to get shot by the heavy bow. I am working on an exotic heavy bow. And I'm just working
Heavy
on
bow?
figuring out some knockback, trying to see how big this. Okay, that's probably too much, but you get the idea. This is an exotic trace rifle. Fire it on an enemy and it creates a big old crit spot.
A big old
Here's a
crit
hand
spot.
cannon that Victor's working on. It fires special ammo, and it's a little bit like a one-handed sniper.
What?
Like it's our only hand cannon with a scope on it. Right now, it kind of lights you on fire if you keep firing it too much. We'll see. Some people like it, some people are kind of but we'll hammer it all out.
All right, it's time. It's about to get loud in here. 1v1. 1v1 on the board.
One of the things we really want to focus on, especially with Season 8 and the start of Shadowkeep, is a renewed focus on PvP.
You're all on the other team.
Are they bringing back trials?
We're updating labs to include some much-loved game types from the past. We're also redoing a bunch of the playlists and how they work. But the really important thing for players
Uh-oh.
to know is this is just the beginning. This is us building the foundation.
Bringing
of
back
what
some
we're
old
doing with
maps,
Crucible
too.
Going forward.
Previously, you would have a 20, 40, 60-hour climb before you could do what's considered in-game content. And now you can pretty much do that immediately.
We want you to feel like you are in the end game from the moment you step on the planet.
Leveling up your Guardian and becoming more powerful, overcoming dungeons, overcoming raids.
For the raid, we had multiple destinations that we were considering, and Black Garden was like immediately top of the list.
And everyone was like, yes. Yes, that's the one I wanted.
With Forsaken, we've started finding more ways for players to customize and personalize their character and differentiate themselves. Shadowkeep's going to push even further in that direction.
The word, which is really guiding us in a bunch of ways, is depth. It's about experiential depth. When we look at how we're thinking about the next 3-5 years, it's really important to us.
It's cool to have a game that you can invest in with your friends, tweak your monster killing machine and make it 2% better every weekend, doing different things and figuring out how to craft this perfect build that you feel like is your own. Like, that is cool. There's nothing nerdy about it. We're like happy to own that. We're gonna stand on that corner.
As things change, If the game doesn't feel like it's changing to meet the new landscape, it just all fall down. You know, part of our DNA is finding different ways to bring people together. We needed a way to crush the barriers between friends.
We all have friends who could play Destiny, who are interested in it, but then we think about recommending it like, oh man, you're gonna have to play about 40 hours by yourself, and then you gotta pay all this money, and you know, maybe you should just play something else. And that can't be the story. We need an entry point for your friends to be able to get into Destiny.
This is just simply about bringing people together to make it easy for players to enter this universe.
There's a new entry point coming out in September called New Light, and New Light is a free-to-download experience.
We're going to start off in the same place where Guardians first came into the world.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive.
What?
We're starting the Cosmodrome.
You're going back.
Going back. Yeah, blast from the past.
Okay, it's not going to break orbit, but it just might get us to the city.
It's as easy as come in, make a character, play the amazing introduction to the game, and then land in the tower.
And then we'll set them loose to open up the world as they see fit.
And have sort of an array of potential in front of you.
You can just start playing the game and get into some of the same activities that your friends might be playing. The campaigns from D to Year One, the Red War, Curse of Osiris, Warmind.
Every world we have will be available for them to explore and to free roam and to do bounties on. Every cooperative strike, whether they're playing with friends or matchmaking, every competitive multiplayer map.
The D2 Year 1 raids like Leviathan.
Full access to Gambit, the hybrid mode that we have. All these things are available to them for nothing.
We've always said that Destiny is best when you play it with your friends, and we're trying to make it easier. So if your friends who are playing Destiny are in different platforms, we're adding cross saves so that you can move between the different platforms and play wherever your friends are.
Like if I'm playing and I want to move over to my PC, I should have my character go with me. We want Destiny to meet you wherever you want to play, so that's incredibly important for us.
We wanted cross save before we shipped Destiny 2, right? Like a bunch of it was built. We just couldn't get there for capital R reasons. And many of those reasons have disappeared. So we are headed full steam ahead on that. And we got to figure out how we're going to get there and how we're going to give the players what they want.
As culture as we can get. Thanks, buddy. Our original vision for Destiny.
I want to know
was
more about
was
that.
A world that would evolve and
how that
change.
works.
We're leaning really hard into that because we believe that's where the future of Destiny is.
The long horizon for Destiny is to become an evolving world. You know, you're going to tune in to see what's
But
gonna
if
happen
Destiny's free everywhere,
We can completely build Destiny.
then all you gotta
the
do
vision
is
that we
buy
want
the
it to be.
expansions
The
and
vision
transfer
isn't
your
dictated
character.
by a commercial model or a business plan, but our creative vision and what we want to do for our players and what they want us to do with Destiny.
We feel like our work isn't done. We have a series of missions that we need to finish before I think we have Destiny in the place that it needs to be, and we're back to, I guess, finish the fight, so to speak.
These are some familiar spots. I like this.
Welcome, gamers, to the Q&A portion of the stream. Someone's very enthusiastic back there. There we go. There's a bunch more enthusiasm. Welcome to the Q&A portion of the stream. If you know who I am, you're probably pretty familiar with me doing Q&A stuff.
No. Who are
If
you?
you don't know who I am, I'm here to embarrass myself in front of thousands of people for the second time in a week. And I'm also your personal Destiny search engine. Most people just call me Dado. I have a lot of these, by the way. I don't think I have time to read all of them. I'm here. That was really, really loud. I'm here with Ben and Catherine, and we're gonna talk a little story action for Shadowkeep.
Great.
And the first thing I'm gonna start with is Eris evil? Because she kind of seemed evil, but at the same time, like not evil, like sort of in a driftery way.
So
Talk to me.
Eris is definitely not your sterling like character like Zavala or
right.
Cora. She's more complicated. She's been through a lot. She's this enigmatic, like mysterious character with tons of power. It's always on the edge of every new threat that's coming. And so she's decidedly not evil. I can say that pretty firmly. And what she is the one who's going to take us into a new threat and a new place that we have to actually investigate. Because she's come back. She's been gone for a long time. And there's been a lot of parts of the Eris story that we've gotten hints at. You know, we've seen lore books. We've gotten, like, seen what she did after the tower blew up. We knew that she went off. We know that she's worked with Marasov for a long time. And well, all those journeys that she's done have brought her back to the moon. A moon that we thought we had like left behind, that we had killed the threats there. Well, she's discovered something even darker in the dark below.
The dark below. I see what you did there.
Trying.
Dark below.
Dark below.
Didn't drop my pen. Speaking of Marasov and all that, I'll pose this question to you. Is this connected to any of the events of Forsaken? Is this connected to Mara? Are we going to see any sort of link between the two?
We aren't talking about Mara specifically in Shadowkeep.
Okay.
This is an Eris story, but like what we're doing here is we like the Dreaming City was a really fun like way of exploring like the deep lore of Destiny, right? Like we had Truth to Power, and we had all the curse weeks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I was
the
definitely
Marasov vignettes.
Marasov vignettes. So this is like we want to do that, but like for Eris, right?
Right.
Like we want to just go in there and be like, there's so much stuff. Like you said, she's a super enigmatic character. Like she could totally appear to be evil.
Mm-hmm.
Like she uses the powers of darkness and sources all her magic from the hive.
Right.
Like
Yeah, but-
why? Like what is all that?
Yeah, and she's doing it to protect humanity. That is like her mission that she's had for a long time. And if you think back, Eris's entire journey, what happened to her? Her fire team was like slaughtered by Crota, and she barely survived and to transform herself. And she crawled back to like rally people to destroy this threat that would have consumed the last city and all of the rest of humanity. And then she saw Oryx was coming too, and she worked with all these forces that players and everyone else in the city had no idea were even around to try to stop it. You know, she does things that no one else can, and she's doing that one more time.
Well, she's persevering a lot. I feel like eventually just like, get over it. Like, fire team's dead, but you know, we got Crota, right? Like, give it up, lady. But
I think that's like not fair entirely, maybe because
no, I know. I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
Just to go back to Forsaken real quick.
Wow, what a shitty thing to say.
Are we getting any hints of like what's going on with Uldren and Marasov? Like Uldren, we kind of got like a cutscene, and then it's like, all right, that's it. And then there's no resolution on that at all.
I would love to sit here and talk about Uldren. That's a conversation for another time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to turn back to Eris on the moon because I'm just super excited by what we're actually going to expose. It's not just what Eris is doing there right now. It's not just about this new threat. It's not just about nightmares, which are now infesting our moon. It's about the history there, and it's about what's changed since you were last there. The moon that we remember from people who played Destiny 1, a lot has happened since they were last there.
Well, that was actually one of my next questions is how is the moon different compared to Destiny 1 now? Because we had the Hellmouth, and that was, pretty intricate design for the hive and everything. How is that changing in Shadowkeep? Because a lot of people are going to say, we've already been to the moon. Like,
well, it's twice as big as the moon you remember.
Yeah.
Twice as big.
Twice as big. And as you might see, there's a giant red citadel now.
Yeah.
Looming threats. And there's mysterious entities, nightmares that are pushing out everywhere. There's also smaller stories that have been uncovered because of all of this chaos and happening in that place. The Fallen have a new place that they've set up, and they have their own reasons for doing that. The cracks of divided places you've been before, and they're going to change how you play and you sparrow and move through them. And you're going to discover old stories from who knows how long ago, with characters that you remember, and they're going to expose more of what actually is coming in the future.
Are we going to see any potential new characters popping in?
characters? Well, there's one that's one of my favorite characters. I'm not going to say it though because it's spoilers.
Okay, fine.
I'm
The
not- I'm not
stranger?
going to tell you that.
That's
but
fine.
There's a ton of what this character does, and I read through all the scripts and I thought it was really awesome.
Okay, then all right, consider me intrigued. I guess one of the final questions I have is why this storyline as opposed to any other storyline that you guys might have considered?
So we have internally, like Bungie is a lot like the players in that we're always talking about Destiny as fans, because we are fans of our own game. Like we're fans first of Destiny, and Moon is a fan favorite inside the studio. And so it always comes up, okay, well, when are we going back to the moon? What about the moon? Like, we just don't go there anymore. We should go back. What's been happening on the moon? Wait, like, is that on the moon? And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It turns into this fervor and excitement that, okay, we're going back to the moon. How do we make that work?
Oh, dude, yeah, it's about time.
The thing about every Destiny destination is you play through what we can release and what we can show and the stories that we have, but there's always more. There's always like another horizon or another like deep depth or another like entire region that is not yet explored. And I consider every place we go in Destiny to have more stories that were just waiting for us to like find the right time to tell.
Absolutely.
The moon has some great stories.
Yeah, I will have some follow-up questions related to story stuff later in the show, but that is just something I kind of wanted to know, like, you know, why this one? Were you guys working on maybe other storylines that maybe just didn't work out, or you want like, let's save that for later, or like, maybe we scrap that all together, or was it just like...
Yeah, I think the idea of being able to have the look of one type of gear, but then the specs of another, that's really cool. Because there's been some cool gear I've wanted to wear, but because it's shit, I don't wear it.
What is happening on the moon, and what is happening to all these stories that we've been exploring for a while, and like, you know, it's
yeah, the new light stuff should make it to where we can get new players, we can get people caught up.
After too, I mean, the moon is a place that was very dear to a lot of players' hearts, but it's also new to a lot of other players. And so, like, I consider it like you take your best friend back to your hometown. You haven't been there in 5 years, and it's changed. Like what has been torn down, what new is there, what still remains. You're going to explore it. And you'll be like, oh, my favorite Chinese place is gone, and now it's an organic grocery store. No, I'm going to go buy all the lettuce. You know, like, you're going to have. There's going to be these moments where you're going to rediscover everything, and it's going to have meaning for you, and then it's going to have meaning for your friend in different ways.
And I think it's also really exciting on top of New Light too, right? Because like the moon was like the big destination in old D1, and you're just like, okay, yes, we're going there, or I'm going to bring all my friends there. Like, I can bring anyone there.
I was even calling New Light First Light for a while, and First Light was the big moon map.
Right, exactly.
Even, so, yeah.
You make a little look at Force Light. Just a little bit when you're running around the moon.
Yeah. Oh, look forward to it.
Big nostalgia factor.
All right. Do you guys have anything else to add before we transition here?
One thing, like when you talk about Marasov, the thing that I really loved about Dreaming City as someone who played it at home was going to the vignettes and every few weeks. And we really loved how that was a new piece of Destiny, like this Dreaming City cycle type of thing, and how you play it. And we're trying to instill those lessons into Shadowkeep as well.
Gotcha.
So look for cool lore drops like that over time, similarly to Dreaming City.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys very, very much for joining me.
Thanks.
I'm going to rotate you guys out for some new guys. And don't forget to take your mug.
Yep.
Oh.
Otherwise, I get yelled at.
My mug, you can't have.
All right, fair enough. Next to the stage, we have Justin and Del. Welcome. Welcome. You guys, I have to grill you guys a little bit more than the story guys.
Yeah,
Story guys
so that's
like,
for new players to be able to catch up, or if you've fallen behind. I think it might be
real nitty-gritty, so
maybe
I
a
gotta grill
way.
you guys a little bit more. So let's start.
I think it's mostly to get new players up to
Sandbox
the
changes have been limited to
hot stuff.
approximately once per season. To many people, they think these need to happen a little more frequently. Are there any plans to change that? And are there any barriers to more frequent updates?
Well, we made the commitment to do a change every season to really look at the sandbox and how it was playing, and so we're going to keep that. Like we think that's a good cadence every season.
I don't know. It seems like I might have mistaken it for the entire D1 campaign coming over, but it might just be that first mission of how your guardian is woken up by the ghost and how you are discovering your first ship, and then you fly out to the tower.
Not just like bounce it for one activity. It's like, how do we bounce it in strikes? What's the impact over here?
Yeah, so that's kind of
taking time.
That
doing
was kind of
and
a
not
vague
feeling
way.
confident.
I think a lot of
So
us
it's just
got a
hard
little
balance
too
where it's kinda
excited
like,
thinking
hey,
that
what's the right
D1 was
amount
coming back.
focusing on balancing and tuning? What's the right
Huh.
amount about making new rewards and pursuits and adding the depth that we
Maybe
talked
it's
about
just a
earlier,
new
like,
intro
we
to the
wanna update
game.
some of the systems, and we wanna, like,
That way new
make
players
the game
feel
more
like they were
interesting
there
and, like,
for
add
a
more
certain
challenge, and,
part
like,
of
how do we do
D1.
that?
They don't feel so isolated from the first
That's fair.
entry.
Another kind of big topic question. Are there any plans to completely separate PvE and PvP balancing? I know you guys are capable of adjusting the damage of weapons in PvE. Do you feel like there's a need for that separation? Is there a reason why you haven't? I imagine if there is not going to be a separation, it's probably related to the same reasons you guys have been giving in the past. Your thoughts?
So a thing that we've always thought was super important for Destiny is that you have a single
Exactly.
Guardian with a single kit and set of abilities that you can take everywhere. We give you a bunch of different experience, whether it's
Destiny is
win
going to be
experiences,
game of the
trade
year.
experiences, or PvP, or just more casual like free roam, and that you're the same Guardian.
Yeah, so finally you can wear the armor you like that looks cool,
we do
but
pretty
adjust it
well is our
with the
our
mods, with
shooting and our like gunplay
perks.
feels good, and part of the reason why it feels good is that muscle.
Yeah, just like you have in MMOs.
the same
Everybody's got it. Even Injustice 2 had it, where you could have you could
requires a level of consistency
put the gear you wanted on Supergirl,
shooting a thrall in the head is
whatever
gonna
looked
take the
cool
exact
on
same
her,
bullets as
but you
shooting
could
a
have the
Guardian in the head.
perks
There
of
is-
the
there is
best
some
armor
variability
set
that
that
we
you
bake in and some
that
balancing
worked
that
with
we
your
do,
playstyle.
But we don't want to split them because we think if we do that over time, it's going to cause us to lose that muscle memory and that feeling of a single Guardian.
Yeah, we want you to go into any activity and like, I play in Crucible and then I get a gun and kind of wonder like, well, what does this do when I take in the strikes? And they're not going to be optimized for every activity.
Right.
Even today, we do balance separate parts of the game differently. We want you to build a loadout that's customized to the challenges you're trying to tackle, but we also don't want to go so far that you feel like, oh, I'm just never going to participate in that part of the game. It's not worth it.
Okay. I'll take it easy on you guys on the next question.
Yeah, the artifact stuff, that's cool.
Let's get a little business out of the way. Is Forsaken and the annual pass getting a price drop? Do I need them to play Shadowkeep?
Yeah, so what we're doing starting today is that everything that we've released in Destiny 2 up until now, so base Destiny 2 game, the expansions, Forsaken, and the annual pass, that's all being bundled together and dropped to just $40.
Okay.
So and that's starting today. But we don't want to require any of that content to play new stuff. Like Luke and Mark said earlier, we want all of our expansions moving forward to be simple
$40
and
for
à la
everything.
carte. So if you like the stuff that we're showing off in Shadowkeep, you can just go and click purchase. You don't have to do the complicated thing like, wait, which pieces of the content do I own and which of these 11 SKUs should I buy?
Right.
And it's the same thing for recommending to your friend. Regardless of how much Destiny they've played, what they own, it's all the same entry point, which is just picking up Shadowkeep for $35.
Shadowkeep's $35. So we're keeping sort of that seasonal pace.
$35 ain't bad.
Is that a la carte?
Because it's going to be a big
apply
deal.
to seasons?
Yeah, so we want the seasons to be a la carte because there were a lot of things that I liked personally about the annual pass, but asking people to pre-purchase $35 up front of a year of content when we didn't even announce what the name of some of the seasons were, I think is not as cool as it could be. Like it's better if you can wait and once you watch the trailer, once you hop in and see some of the content yourself, then decide if you want to buy in. And so each of the seasons will be available. But we also want to make sure if you jump into Shadowkeep, we're not immediately putting our hand back out asking for more money. So Shadowkeep is going to give you season 8 or whatever season it is starting then, for free as part of that.
So if I buy Shadowkeep in like January and it's season 10 or whatever, I would get season 10 as well.
Yeah, you'll just get that season.
Brilliant.
So you don't have to do the complicated question of like, which part of this premium content, like, do I need to buy? You just jump into Shadowkeep and you're going to have everything.
Or you could just decide to get season 10.
Post Activision Bungie, man, this is good stuff. No season pass.
Covers that question. Let's go to another kind of hardball.
All right.
Nope, you buy Shadowkeep, you get the season that comes with it. There's no paying ahead for random amounts of content, not knowing whether it's going to be good or bad. Every season will get a taste.
How valuable do you think those things are compared to making new activities? And are we ever going to see stuff like strikes, new PvP maps, and that kind of stuff return outside of major expansions like this?
They're super valuable. I mean,
Nope,
see it with
no annual
Ignite.
pass.
They're going to be the entry point that we want to get all players into and playing together. So they're really important for us. And the team has big lists of things that they want to do. We've tried some of it in the past, like for Season 6, we did a lot of Gambit quality of life updates, and there was new maps for it. It's just, again, the challenge with a game this wide is we can't do that all the time. And so we're definitely focusing, like Season 8, we're coming back to the Crucible. Like, we know we've spent too long, like we haven't done enough for it. We had a lot of commitments with Annual Pass 1, but now we're coming back. And I think we might not answer all the ritual game in any single season, but over the course of a year,
They
probably
did
gonna
show
touch
it.
a lot of different parts of the game.
Right.
Dreadnought.
I hear you guys. I can hear you through Twitch chat screaming, "Ask about PvP." The question, I got it. It's here. It's for a different person, but it's here. Don't worry. I got you guys.
Yeah, and another thing I want to say there is like we tried to change up the formula with Annual Pass. I don't care about over the last year, where if you remember before when we did DLCs, we would put a little bit of every single type of content into each one of the drops, but then that meant the whole team was working for months or years on just that, and there would be a long drought of content. And what we're trying to do now is every couple weeks, every single month, we're releasing something and keeping the world continuously evolving, but that means that we can't release everything at the same time. And so we've tried to revolve around and touch different parts of the content, but yeah, and for example, like I think we underserved PvP in the last year. That was a mistake with how we planned out the Annual Pass, and we're going to correct that starting in Season 8, and then we want to walk around and touch all the other pieces of content.
Yeah. So would you say that there is a chance that we'll see like a new strike throughout the year with the seasons? Like, I don't think
certainly possible. Like we haven't planned out exactly what's in each one of our seasons, but no type of content is off the table. I mean, like I kind of want to throw it back to you. Like, what do you think the seasons are missing right now?
Yeah, I mean, again, it just kind of comes back to a lot of those staples of the Destiny experience. The game has grown very wide and just not very tall, which is something you guys are addressing in Shadowkeep. So I think the community would definitely like to see, you know, some strikes come back, a couple PvP maps, even like
You get all of the content for that season.
Right, bring back, you know, Rusted Lands and
So like he said,
people want,
if
Twilight
Shadowkeep comes out in Season 8, you get Season 8.
absolutely love to see
But
that.
if you don't buy Shadowkeep until Season 10, then you're going to get Season 10 stuff free with it.
The volume of content you produced this year without the help of Activision.
So basically, every time a season changes, you're going to decide whether you want that season. So if Destiny's a free-to-play game, you're paying for only the content you want, the expansions that you want. If you don't want that, you can opt out. It's kind of cool. Kind of a neat way to, a more, better way to approach things. Instead of just locking people out and saying, oh yeah, you got to pay $40 for this, and you have to have completed 60 hours of this to join in. And if you haven't done that, that's too bad. You know, like that's a real shitty way to pitch your game to people, right?
That we can keep delivering a season's worth of content that Destiny players have come to expect every single season moving forward when it's just us.
Yep. And then the hard thing, just like the original question about PvP balancing, is whenever we make new activity content, we're not being able to do the thing you just asked about. Of like, well, how about servicing the existing stuff? And if we're getting that big, so it's real hard to like. And this is the challenge.
Yeah, that is a Titan helmet.
The right balance for it. We're going to keep working on it, but it's going to be a question of like, what's the cool new adventures? What's the cool new ways that are going to challenge your monster killing machine every season? But how are we updating the rest of the game to also feed in and challenge your, like, give you new challenges for your character? But we have to do that in a way that also is healthy and sustainable for our team. Like, it's real hard servicing a game this big at this cadence. And so, but Destiny's going to be around for a long time. We want this team to be excited, to be able to build all that content, come in with fresh ideas, and really be able to tackle some of these big challenges and make the best experiences. So that's a hard balance.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, we have mailing lists inside the studio where people talk about, because with this many people, not everybody knows everything that's going on. And so people are asking, like, hey, is there going to be a strike in the new release? Are you going to go do this quality of life update? Like, we all want to touch all the parts of Destiny as fast as we can, but we also don't want to ask the team to work every single weekend. Like, we want sensible, healthy, like, excited folks in the office, and we're always trying to hold that line because there's always more stuff to do than
trying to avoid crunch, hopefully.
Do you guys have anything else that you want to add before we transition here?
No.
All good? All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining me.
Thanks.
Had to grill you guys a little bit more.
That was good.
And we're going to rotate here to two new guests, Koa and Raylene. What's up, man? Welcome to the table.
What's up?
Excited to be here.
Claps all around. You guys are here to talk about New Light, something that I think a lot of people have wanted for the game, even though they maybe will not be engaging with it themselves, just like a lot of veteran players. Obviously, we already play the game, but everyone for a while has thought, man, they should really make Destiny 2 available for free for a lot of people, because you've done it in the past, right? You've done 3 weeks on Blizzard, and then like, for a month if you have PlayStation Plus, and then maybe there was something, I don't even know if there was anything with Xbox. So,
Nope,
what exactly
Xbox hadn't seen any
am I
free
getting
stuff.
access to with New Light, and when do I get access to it, I guess?
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Just spill it all out for me.
Yeah. So for New Light, it's a new entry point for Destiny, right? So what that means is that it's tailored towards new players, but all players can experience it. So if you make a new character, and if you're a veteran player, you'll experience the New Light flow. And it's exciting because it's...
But I already
trial,
have 9 characters.
right?
What do you mean make a new
It's
character?
not a different part of the game. It is the game. It's Destiny. And it's free, which is...
Very good.
Yeah, which
very,
is super
very good.
exciting. Yeah, exactly.
And as Raylene said, it's the whole game, right? So it's not just some subsection portion of it. It's the full breadth of content that you get as Destiny players. So you get access to strikes, you get access to all destinations, you get to free roam, you get to look for lost sectors, you get to play all that content that's been out there in the world that you've been playing a ton of, right?
Right.
For free, which is really cool for us. I think that's a really exciting change.
Yeah.
And we're happy to have people actually get to experience that content who never have before.
Absolutely. I was watching Twitch chat during the Vidoc, and when that came up, I saw a lot of, is this Destiny 1 remastered and blah, blah, blah. Can you just clarify that it is or is not a complete remaster?
Oh, he's looking over at her.
It is not a remaster.
It is not a
Yeah.
remaster.
It is
No.
not a remaster.
No.
It is like the first mission is, I guess, remastered.
Yeah.
Right. So you do the first mission like you were playing Destiny 1, and then you're just flown right to the tower. You land, and then I can go do stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So like, how
Does that affect the beginning of D2
unlock
though?
things over time, essentially. How, like, let's say I'm brand new, download New Light, do the first mission, land in the tower. I want to go to Mars. What do I got to do to go to Mars?
Yeah. So
Go to Mars, you fuckhead.
one of our biggest goals is to really
No. Just click on fucking Mars.
together with your friends, and you can do that within the first like 20 minutes. So once you land in the tower, as you're saying, the first, I guess maybe I'll dive back a little bit for the Cosmodrome mission. It's about 15 minutes or so, and you'll learn the basic, elements of Destiny, how to shoot your gun and that kind of thing. But once you get into the tower, you can start playing strikes. You can start playing Crucible. You can start playing Gambit, and for the destinations, we have a system that we're building that will unlock destinations over time, but it's not going to be very, very long, right? One of our goals there is so that the world doesn't feel so overwhelming, right? So we're not trying to like lock content. We're trying to make it ease players into our world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it can be very daunting just loading into the tower, bring up your map again. It's like, oh, there's 17 things here.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
what do I do? Yeah.
Yeah,
So the thing you were talking about there, where how do you get to Mars, right? You start after you do the Cosmo mission, you go to tower, and you have access to EDZ. You play that for a little bit. We haven't tuned exactly how long you'll play, but it's probably not very long. And then you'll start, as you complete bounties and other activities, you'll quickly
Yeah, because I was like,
other destinations. So
don't we have to lose our light and get our asses kicked by Gaul before we can really...
So what kind of stuff am I getting with New Light?
They have to set up some of the vanilla D2 story, otherwise that undermines the entire main campaign.
Can I play Curse of Osiris?
Yes.
Warmind?
Yes, easy. It's an easy question.
So, okay. So go, yeah.
Yeah. You can play all those campaign content if you want to. For us, we're making it optional, right? So back to the barriers kind of thing. We want, if you choose to play with your friends right away, right? And if you want to go experience the campaigns of the past, you can go ahead and play that as well, right?
Okay. Yeah. Even like Leviathan?
Leviathan Raid, yeah.
Yeah. Leviathan? Okay. What about Forsaken then? Can I go to like Dreaming City and Tangled Shore? Like what's the limits on Forsaken?
So that's a little bit different. As far as Tangled Shore and Dreaming City, you can go there. We actually want you to be able to explore all destinations. So we mentioned that you'll unlock destinations over time. You'll see that Dreaming City, Tangled Shore, and actually the moon as well.
Oh wow! Okay.
Shadowkeep, and you'll see all the destinations. You'll be able to play all that stuff. And what will happen is we're giving you all of that access. But then if you wanted to, like say you play Shadowkeep and you really like the raid content, you really enjoyed the way that feels with your friends, or you really like story missions, if you want to go back and play the Forsaken story campaign or any of the Forsaken raids, like Last Wish or the dungeons in Forsaken as well, then the Forsaken package is available to buy, and that's a separate thing.
Okay.
But all the destinations are available to you at all times.
So basically, if I want to go play like the meaty stuff of Forsaken, like the raids, the dungeon, the campaign, exotic quests, exotic quests, things like that. Things that are the beefy stuff. I would need to go buy Forsaken, but I don't need Forsaken to go play Shadowkeep.
Correct.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to add? Because I feel like we covered basically everything that I needed to cover.
It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about because as a new light player, you get so much content.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, on destinations you think about, there's also like public events, and then there's adventures. We have some like Blind Well, content that that is public and brings people together, and it's just really exciting to have new players come try out all this stuff because there are so many kind of barriers before to be able to just jump right in.
Yeah, and I think a lot of current players have been hoping for Destiny 2 to go free in
I like all
way
these
for a
badges
while.
that everyone has.
What you guys did at BlizzCon was
Like she's got the Bungie badge with the rainbow. Someone else had the Rise of Iron on her blazer. That was cool.
Easy when I'm trying to go do stuff, and that was
Those
fun to see as
pins,
a
I
veteran
guess.
player, just seeing like a huge new wave of people come in.
Those are cool.
And when New Light comes out, I'm hoping to see that again. And just knowing how much stuff they get access to as well is pretty.
Me too. My
pretty
friends,
inspiring.
like anecdotally, like, oh, I want to play, Destiny, but what do I have to do to catch up to you? So.
Oh, one more question. What level do I start at? So, sorry, let me clarify.
Yeah.
You have your character level, and then you have power level.
Correct. Yeah.
What character level do I start at? What power level do I start at?
Yeah. So right now we're tuning this back and forth, so it could change, but it's 750, right? But
power level 750.
Yes.
That's what you start at. So basically the cap
as of today.
Popular.
Yeah.
Okay. As of right now. As
totally.
of
Yeah. But our goal is that so that you can jump right in and play the most current content.
Yes.
Right. That is the main goal there. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's sort of related to the boost that people can do for the beginning of the season, which I thought was also a very good idea. Helps people get right into it.
Yeah.
It's all platforms.
All platforms.
All platforms.
All platforms.
Perfect. If you guys have nothing else to add, I think that'll do it.
Sweet, man.
Sweet.
All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you very much for joining me.
So that's New Light. That's supposed to bring you up so that you can
Our last guest
play
here.
the relevant content.
Hey, bud.
All right.
I got some zingers for you.
All right.
I got some hardball ones.
We can get to this. I want to talk to you for a few minutes.
Okay.
First. You've had a pretty eventful week, dude.
Eventful is one way to put it. Yeah.
So first, I know I want to talk to you a little bit about the raid, but I want to talk to you about the
You lost. Get over it.
Because so you battling throat infection. This was like the raid was like your flu game, your Michael Jordan flu game.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Be Bold. Congrats on the world first. Carolina Gamer. What's up, man? Esoteric.
So you're. So walking
The
me through it,
underdogs.
I was actually in your channel watching as it all went down. Like, just give me a little bit of like you've had a couple days to process it now. Like,
yeah, no, I mean I'm happy where we placed. We found out that it was actually the closest between first and second in the history of Destiny, and I'm very happy with where we placed and everything. But man, like you got all these silvers and bronzes, and it's like. Yeah, but a gold one would be nice. Yeah. One day to put on the mantle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll try next time. I think we got a really solid squad.
You'll have another chance this fall.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's get some hardball questions. Why did you decide to partner with Google Stadia?
Not sure about New
The
Light.
relationship's a little different compared to Activision, but I think many assumed that after you guys got away from Activision. Really going on. Is Stadia going to have
Stadia's a step in delivering the Play It Anywhere
Mel, with that 12 months.
Creatively, it's not going to change our creative. Like, from the beginning, we've tried to make Destiny a game where it's
Welcome, Guardian. Your light is strong. I'm glad nobody hosted or subbed during any of the really important things that they were talking about. I did not realize that was going to happen.
There's always trade-offs that you're making.
But thank you, Mel, for the 12 months. You should have the, yeah, the Flying V. Amos, the Flying V.
the word MMO
Gibson Flying V.
Destiny.
Badge.
Is it really the first time?
The first time that I can remember.
Publicly.
At least publicly. Because I can remember dating back to an interview that Adam Sessler did with Destiny, and he said like they very actively avoided the word MMO. And so I was very surprised to hear that. MMO to a lot of people is scary. You know, it's a lot of grinding, management, education. Why the
We got some of those things in the game right now.
Yeah.
There's some grinding, some education, some management.
There's definitely some, but why the change, and what are you doing to make sure that Destiny still keeps its identity while also expanding upon the systems that MMO?
Yeah, I think that's one of the like raid jackets or something
Johnny
that you can buy.
Like, I just want to shoot aliens. Like,
Maybe?
Miss me with the spreadsheets, right? So
yeah, so we're gonna preserve like the core action game for Destiny, like the Johnny or Jane two sticks comparison you're using. Like, we're always gonna be an awesome kinetic action game. Like, this is one of the things that's just like cultural here. Like, we have an awesome sandbox team. We've had an amazing group of folks who have built a rad action game. For us, the MMO language isn't about some of the baggage that comes with it. It's not about the like subscription side of things. It's really more about how does it point the way to where we need to go, which is
that's what gets in the way, is we can't get enough people together. People can't get to the light level that they need to be, so we can't beat a raid quick enough, you know?
And at different points in the franchise's
Or
history, like we're
beat a
coming
raid,
to 6,
or play a raid.
more. Like when people were chasing
Finish a raid encounter.
tier 12 or whatever and taking King in Rise of
So
Iron.
these are some of the
Those are
barriers
types
that
of
maybe
things that
they're
we wanna start
working on.
with and bring back, but we think the future over the long horizon is much brighter than just that.
Yeah.
And so then the next part of it is really the social fabric, and we haven't built the right things yet for the social fabric for the game, and we want to make it easier for players to play together, get into activities. There are all kinds of checks that I could like sit here and write that we haven't committed to yet, but improving the social game is a check that we're gonna fix over time. And I just want to like remind folks that when we talk about things like vision, we're not necessarily just talking about like, and all of this is coming this fall.
Right.
We're really trying to, now that we can have that like open dialogue with here's where Destiny's going over time. Like, here's where we're going on the long arc of the Destiny franchise.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the long arc of the Destiny franchise, are we going somewhere with this story? Because we started it already in like a very obscure, like, what did we just do in the Black Garden? Like, what? Okay. And then like, okay, now the Oryx storyline, and then the Riven storyline, and then this storyline, and then this one, and we have 18 different branches that all seem like they're doing their own thing. It seems like we're just living in the world of Destiny and maybe not experiencing like an overall story. Like, is this all getting tied together?
It feels a bit too much like life rather than an arc.
It's like, where are we going?
So we've talked about this a bunch internally. Like, we have over the years had kind of like different monster of the weeks is how we described it. Dark Below to Dark Below, Crota, Oryx. That was all just like a monster of the week story. What we're doing this fall with Shadowkeep is, we did put some arrows into flight at the end of Destiny 2. Mm-hmm. And Shadowkeep is the next chapter in that like broader universe story. Like, we are going to be, peeling back some of these layers over time. The thing that we're trying to make sure we do, and we haven't always done our best work with this, is feel like the universe is going somewhere. Like, people want to feel like what they're doing matters, and that it's heading toward, I don't want to say a resolution or an ending, because I don't think Destiny's heading toward an ending, but heading somewhere where there's going to be change.
Right, yeah. Just somewhere where we feel like, oh, okay, this is where that's all going down. This used to be on my list. It is removed, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Trials? Question mark?
So the thing we talked about up front is, I'm glad you asked. I think that if you didn't ask about trials, that would have been bad for us, and really bad for you, because if you don't ask the questions that your community wants to know.
Because PvP for the last year has been, here's a new comp weapon that's just been easier to get, and comp is pretty bare bones, and PvP has been, or has felt neglected over the past year. And I gotta ask about trials.
Yeah, so what we're doing in Season 8 is we are looking at the playlist structure, and we're gonna make changes to the playlist structure, and we're gonna talk about a bunch of that later this summer. The like crappy metaphor for the way I'm thinking about this is, we have like some additions we want to make to the house, but first we've got to like look at the house and repair the foundation, and we've got like work to do and maintenance to do, and we have to do more upkeep and than we've been doing for sure. I think that a bunch of when I watched the raid this week, I saw the comp weapons getting a lot of play. So they are certainly motivating acquisition, and they're delivering a power fantasy. I think those things have been pretty cool, and I know that I know people love trials. I certainly love trials. There was a debate as to whether or not I
don't like trials.
Now defunct.
But yeah, I could see the need for it to come back and for it to be a.
And I think it's the type of thing that we love it. Like what we're trying to do with Destiny, and this is gonna tie in maybe if you decide to ask another question about the moon. What we're trying to do with Destiny going forward, like the total plan aside from the vision is we want it to be the ultimate version of the game over time, and that's kind of where we're heading.
Okay, but when is it coming out?
Got work to do. We got to repair the foundation.
Let it be known that I tried.
Yeah.
Okay.
Valiant.
All right. For that, I'm giving you. This is a hardball question, but I'm gonna role play. Okay. You're gonna be Luke, and I'm gonna be mad on the internet. TM.
Right.
7. What you doing?
How are you gonna respond to people?
7 lovely
chat
days.
who are gonna say?
You still seem like Dado right now, though.
I know.
Character.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm always mad. You guys are reusing old assets to refresh the game under a major expansion. We already been in the moon. Forsaken had Dreaming City. And Tangled Shore, Dreaming City was crazy, and they had the Scorn, and then Taken King had the Taken, and we went to the Dreadnought, and now we're going back to the moon, and we're fighting Hive. Like, what do you say to those people? Recycled content, by the way.
So
recycled content.
To Ben and Catherine earlier, and I don't remember if they exactly talked about when we take something.
Destiny 2 is going to a free-to-play model. 7 lovely days, or should I say 7 lovely raids?
But the other thing that I want to address here with your question is how does something like bringing a destination back fit into the overall vision for Destiny going forward, where we have made all kinds of awesome stuff in our history, and we have this opportunity as we continue to grow this content war chest to update these things, bring them back in new ways. It's not coincidence that we've ended different things with references to things that we've done before, or some note that I wrote and signed off with had a reference to a classic raid. We really are.
So we'll be able to catch up, and you'll be able to get in on something called New Light, which will allow you to essentially be the same level as us, and to play whatever content you want to play. If you want to play something from way back then, you can, or if you want to play what's hot right now, see what's new, there you go.
Actually, a bunch of the origin of this came from.
But the new expansions, they will charge you for those. So like Shadowkeep this fall, you're going to have to pay for that. But that's only if you want it. You're going to be able to play 60, 80 hours of, content.
This looks awesome, and we just get excited about that stuff. We see it, and then the team.
And you don't have to play that content to catch up. You'll just be,
it's like a Katamari ball of excitement.
you do what you want to do, which is kind of cool.
It's the thing like haunting us in the sky.
It's the best way to include new players, I think, is to make sure they can play with their friends and not feel like they're behind.
We think it's gonna be awesome.
All right. I got one more question. I assume you're going to be asked this at E3 anyway, so I'm just going to ask anyway. Destiny 3, what are we doing? Are we, because I think some people are surprised that Destiny 3 is not coming this time around. Are we going to keep Destiny 2 and just keep stacking on expansions? Do you want to make a Destiny 3? Is there anything on the horizon, anything, because I'm sure that's super far out and you can't say much, but if you got anything.
Yeah, it's
like now's the
anything that we're going to do beyond what we're talking about today is super far out. And like right now, we've really recommitted the team to Destiny 2, the next chapter of it's this fall.
That's good. That's the message I want. I don't want another game. You don't fix problems in your marriage by having another child or a child. So you repair your marriage first. You don't have a kid to save the relationship. So
that's what we're going to be doing.
just saying.
You did we exhaust your list?
I think we got like 1 or 2 more, but I don't think we have time to cover them.
Yeah, the clock is at 0.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes over.
Yeah, it's angry at me.
And so, before we go, there's one last thing I want to talk about, which is, behind us is an amazing team here, and we only got to look at a few members of the team today and a few members in the Vidocs, but the Bungie team is so much bigger than just the 11 people or so.
Oh, they're waving. Hi.
Showed up. They're doing an amazing job.
Oh.
They're doing an amazing job, and they're working so hard, and everyone here loves the game, and we're trying to make the best game that we can. And so I just want to make sure that we acknowledge the team real quick. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with us. I want to thank Dado coming in. No wounds to lick. It's okay with second place.
Yeah.
Before we go,
Nothing but the second best.
We're going to take one last look at the trailer for Shadowkeep.
Looking to the future always brings us back to the past. Can you feel them? I can still hear their voices. Their endless torment reshapes our moon. Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our old fears
Eris Morn.
rise again. And in the dark below, something wicked has awakened. We must bring an end to this suffering. One way or another.
Wow. Okay. Hmm. Two days before my birthday. Next expansion. Okay, I'm adding Shadowkeep to the games calendar for this year. I'm moving Super Mario Maker 2 because we finally have a release date. That is June 28th on that. So our next game is Judgment. Judgment on June 25th. Sinking City on the 27th, last I heard. And Super Mario Maker 2 on the 28th. Okay. So we're updated on that. You don't see it to pre-order? Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, nothing looks different. It's still Forsaken. Yeah, maybe it's gonna be a second before it's before things are going up. Maybe they gotta launch it. Yeah, dude. But we gotta figure out what's going on with your PC. And whatever we gotta do, man, you need to figure out what it is. If there's something that needs to be upgraded. You know, if it's building a new PC from scratch or whatever it is. Alright, so I'm gonna do something in D2 here in a bit. But we're gonna finish just getting a few things moved around here. Applying for a job? Okay. Yeah. Start saving. You know, use the stream to crowdfund what you need. I think it's doable. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, let's recap, right? Okay, so this morning, we heard that Destiny is going to be on Google Stadia, which means we can play it anywhere. Anywhere you can get a Chrome web browser. That means on your phone, your tablet, your PC. If you get the Google Chromecast, you plug that into your TV, you're good to go. What was it? 120? Was it $125? Something like that? To buy the Stadia? Okay, the Founders Edition here, $129, right? There's a $10 a month fee for the service. You're going to be able to play Division 2, Borderlands 3, Mortal Kombat 11, the Tomb Raider trilogy, Baldur's Gate 3, Metro Exodus, Destiny 2, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Doom Eternal. You know, lots of big games are going to be here on the Stadia, and we're going to be able to take it cross-play, right? We're going to be able to move our characters over to the Google Stadia and keep playing with our friends, right? And everybody's on board with that. Even PlayStation. No more exclusivity when it comes to Destiny 2. That means PlayStation's not gonna get secret guns and crucible maps and strikes and armor and blah blah blah, whatever. No more exclusives for anyone. So that means everybody's gonna be on a much more even and fair playing field. Nobody feels like they're being locked out of something that they deserve, which is good. That's a massive step forward. Because Bungie's going solo. They don't need exclusivity deals. They don't need to ally with Activision or whatever it may be. And they seem content on their own. So that's good. So they're free to develop this game as they choose. All right, so next thing. $40. You can buy everything needed. You'll be caught up to Forsaken and all the previous DLCs, the main game, $40. Destiny will shift to its, sort of free-to-play new light model, essentially, allowing you to opt in for each new season and for the Shadowkeep DLC, which will be $35. Right? So we're going to have something called cross-save. We don't know the details, but we'll be able to move our characters around different platforms somehow. I'd like to know specifics on that. That's probably the most important thing to me right now, is how that's gonna work. Because I don't want to lose weapons or progress. Because I have a lot of different weapons on all different platforms. I have a lot of characters I'm deeply attached to on different platforms. And I don't know if I want to see anything get erased. If I have an overall armory where I could just access any gun, any character, that could be cool. I feel like there's a way that they're going to do it right. Because I feel like they're thinking about all these things. Sure. So that means we'll be able to take our characters anywhere. With the game shifting to this cheaper model, you'll be able to play it on different platforms, even if they don't necessarily go full cross-play, which I feel like is only a future move at some point, if they're not shifting there already. I feel like they're probably close enough with the cross-save for now. Destiny 2 is going to Steam, so everything that comes with that's hip. It's gonna be cool. That means lots of cool features that come with Steam. And everything will transfer over. Everything you already own transfers over. I know they're shifting away from Battle.net. They said that they would remain on Battle.net. But they're going to shift away from it because, obviously no partnership with Activision. So they're going to shift. And Steam makes sense. Seems like a good play. PC player. And to be able to play that on my Steam Link in my bedroom, that'll be really cool. Because I've been trying to do it through my Steam Link and just open up this game. By adding it to my Steam library, there's just a touch of lag. So when it's a full-on Steam game, it runs perfect. Any game runs perfect on my Steam Link in the other room. And I can just have my controller plugged in and go to town. Of course, you could plug in your mouse and keyboard, but I don't feel like hauling all that back and forth. I think it's easier. You know me. I'm a controller guy. Let's see. Anything else we've missed? PvP is getting a big focus on in the new season. Shadowkeep taking us back to the moon to fight new and old nightmares. We've got a vanity system, as Real Space has said. We have a vanity system which will allow us to take the cool-looking armor that we like the look of and apply perks from other armors. We'll have mods that we can move around. A lot deeper customization. They're definitely, as they said at the beginning, they said we are diving in We're not going to be ashamed of the MMO moniker. That doesn't mean that we have to have a monthly subscription to our game, but it means that we can definitely get more of the RPG and more of the MMO, more of the crafting your own monster killing machine, as they said, making it your own special thing. I like that. Okay, so we've got that. We've also got the new artifacts. Going to be interesting. Customizable. Looks like we're going to be able to get into these artifacts and mess with stuff. We also got the new finishers, which are, appear to be different types of melees, but they are finishing moves that look really cool. Often contain a flip or a cool final blow, that really changes based on what character you are. Maybe even changes based on your subclass. That could be interesting. Story's continuing. We're picking things back up with Eris Morn. They're going to evolve the content on the moon, much like they did with the Dreaming City. How everything sort of changed week by week. That's really cool. We'll have new activities, right? Of course. The new light system is going to bring people that are new to the game up to par with your buddies. You'll play a short section that actually lets you relive the opening moments of Destiny 1, being woken up from the dead by your ghost, or by a ghost that chooses you, essentially. And then grabbing your ship, going to the tower, and then starting the game from there. And then gradual integrations will unlock all the different planets and get your light level caught up to everybody so you can get right to the end game. That's something they emphasized pretty heavily, was we want you to feel like you're at the end game as soon as you get in. So you want to be, that's what holds new players back, is, oh, I got to play through 80 hours of content all by myself to get caught up to my friends because my friends aren't going to help me get there. Well, actually, I would help you get there. I'm not that friend that would turn his back on you and say, like, no, once you're worthy, you can play with us. No, but this is a cool way to sort of make it where it's less of a hassle, because a lot of people do get sort of disheartened. Nobody wants to jump into a new game and be forced to drag through all this content to get to where their buddies are and enjoy the new hot content they're watching their friends play, right? Like the Menagerie 6-player activity, looking really hip, but if you're a new player, it's an activity that's very far away from you. So that's really cool. So yeah, being able to take the looks of a certain armor set and apply different perks to it, that is really cool. Because there's lots of armor that looks really cool that we only use for a short little while, and then it's irrelevant. And once it's irrelevant, most people delete it. I keep it because I'm a little bit of a, I like to remember the good old days. I like to throw on that armor just for looks sometimes, and sometimes I'm not too crazy about, oh, here's my highest power stuff. Sometimes I just want to throw on the guns I want to play with and the armor I think looks cool, and then jump in and do some activities, whatever I want to do. Cool. So yeah, that's to me that feels like a very good recap of everything. If you missed anything there, if not, you should definitely find the VOD and rewatch the stream straight from Bungie. Check out the Google Stadia stuff as well. I've got links to everything in the Discord, under news and under the Destiny 2 channel. If you're not in the Destiny 2 channel in my Discord, you will need to assign that role to yourself by either right-clicking on your name and clicking that role to be able to get that in, or you can do !rank for ranks, and it should show you all the ranks, and then you can go from there. There's a whole rank channel that tells you how to apply the ranks and make sure that you're in the channels that are most relevant to you. Cool? That way, if you're not into Destiny, you're not getting all the spam from the Destiny channel, or, you know, if you're not into Overwatch, you're not getting the Overwatch spam from the Overwatch channel, you know, you only get the stuff you want to see. You only hear the beeps and boops that you want to hear. You know, you calibrate your notifications as necessary, and you join the channels that you deem relevant to you. So yeah, we'll end this talk show and podcast thing. I'm going to bring the stream down for a moment. We'll change our title and stuff, and we'll jump right into some Destiny for a little bit. So what's on the menu for Destiny today is I'm going to jump on my Warlock. I have one weekly bounty to do for Benedict, which is strike related. So I got to do, I basically need to knock out some strike bounty with my Warlock. And then after that, I think I'm going to switch over to my Hunter and my Titan and see what I can do on those characters. Kind of try to catch them up and just to play as different characters. I'm getting a little weary. I got a lot of cool stuff on my Warlock. I got a lot of really neat things, but I want to start playing on my other characters. This is, to me, is the season of equality. I'm going to be playing on lots of different characters.
Commander of the armies of the North, General of
So that's what's up.
Legions. Loyal servant to the true Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Father to a murdered son. Husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Nice. Marcus Maximus, yeah, he's lost all self-control at this point, as we all have. As we all have. So for a quick moment, I'm going to relaunch the stream. Keep talking in chat. I'm just going to change up our title and stuff. I'll be jumping in, getting some strike stuff done. Let's see. So Destiny 2, Season of Opulence stuff, what we'll pivot to now. But yeah, lots of exciting things talked about today. Give me 1 second. We're going to bring the stream down and then back up, okay?